Hey, this is Gene from the Assisted Living Network. Mom, Dad, are they in a home now that they feel good about, that you feel good about? I mean, that's a really loaded question, I know, because if you're like me, you never even considered putting mom or dad into a home. You probably got to a point where it was harder than you thought, and you knew that you didn't have the time or the skills or maybe the heart. Maybe you just weren't designed to be that caregiver, and you needed that help, and you know they did too. In your heart, you know it's the right thing, but you're wondering, are they getting what they really need? Well, I'm going to kind of lay this out for you because, when it comes to a home, it's not just their physical need, it's their emotional need, their spiritual need. So who are they hanging out with? I mean, let's face it, you and I are a product of the 5 people we hang out with the most. We all kind of get rubbed off on each other. So who are they hanging out with? Are they hanging around with crabs? Or are they hanging around with people that encourage them? Now, let's get frank. I mean, I'm in these homes quite a bit. A lot of these older people, they've gotten to the point where they're not that social anymore. But then again, why not? Why don't they be more social? What are they doing to be social? Sitting and watching TV isn't very social for you or me. It's certainly not for them. But maybe there's games that could be played, puzzles that could be made. Maybe it's cards. Maybe it's artwork. Maybe it's dancing. When was the last time you saw your parents dance? I guarantee you when they were a kid. Well, just like when you were a kid, you did something to dance. Now, I didn't do a whole lot of dancing. I was a drummer. That's why I was a drummer. Didn't have to dance. But the reality is, we all did. And adults today, when we talk about 60, 80 years old, my goodness, they did a lot of dancing, and they had some really cool dances that they did. So maybe just start by going to visit next time and ask them if you don't know, but bring some music that would have been from their age group, when they were teens and in their 20s, when they would be out dancing at clubs, and ask them about things. Maybe look up what a rave is, because you and I know what a rave is, but they wouldn't know, but they had other things that they did. Ask them, did they ever go to a speakeasy, or did they go to an after-hours club? Some of the stories that'll come out will start to tickle their imagination and bring life into their eyes and into their conversation. And I'm going to tell you a secret, just have some of that music playing in the background and all of a sudden things start to come back. Just like you and I, when you hear a song that you remember from high school, it makes you think about the parties, the friends, the activities, good and bad, the things that happen, it all comes flooding back. Same thing for them. So they're in their 80s right now, but what did they listen to when they were 15 and 20 and 25? Bring that music in. Now I'm going to give you another little piece of insight. As a homeowner, somebody who is actually operating these homes right now, sometimes we have family members like you, like me, who come, and the expectations are a little bit unfair. They assume just because they're in my home that everything is going to be perfect, and we're going to be paying attention to our mom and dad 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The reality is there's 8, 10, 12 other people in that home that also need attention as well. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit. I want you to come seeing how you can help. What can you do to be helpful? Not what are they doing for me or for my mom, but what can I do to help other people? And I'm going to tell you, if you start to think about it differently, if you go in there with how can I help, what can I do to be a part of the solution and not be demanding, things are going to change dramatically. Not just for your parent and not just for you, but all of the other people too. We have a motto that we live by. It's called do good and do well. Do well means make money. Do good means doing something good. Everybody does something to make money, whether it be work for the government or a postman or a teacher, or whether it be an entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. But what are you doing that's good? So I'm going to encourage you to do something good and go there with, maybe I can read a book out loud to the seniors that are there in the family room. Maybe I can bring some music and say, hey, I'm going to put the music on if anybody feels like dancing, and maybe get up and dance with one of those elderly residents who's there. Don't worry, they're not going to knock your socks off. It won't be very fast dancing, but it will blow you away when you start to see what they can do and the life that comes up and the sparkle in their eye. You see, if you're part of that solution, I'm going to give you another little guarantee. Your parent is going to look at you differently and say, wow, I didn't even think they really wanted to come over here. I didn't even think they really cared about me that much. But look at them, I see them having fun. They're doing something. And my friends that I live with here, the peers my own age, they're having a good time too. And they're going to start to look at you differently. So I want to encourage you to not be thinking about what they can do for you, but what you can do for them. What can you do? Bringing music. Maybe it's a puzzle. Maybe it's bringing cards. Maybe those big cards, really big ones, easy to handle. Maybe it's something else that maybe you don't really want to do, but they certainly do. And I guarantee if you do this one right here, this is something that will really blow you away. Just sit and talk. Ask them, where did you travel? Where did you meet your spouse? Tell me about your kids. The stories that I've heard from those seniors in those homes are just tear-jerking and inspirational. And I also realize that I'm privileged to learn those things about those seniors in those homes that their kids probably don't even know. They didn't take the time to ask those questions. I know what happened with me and my grandparents and my aunts and uncles, where I didn't ask them enough questions. We had a different relationship. We didn't ask those questions. But when I go in these homes and ask these seniors about those things, I'm learning things about them, the missions they took, the paintings they did, the people they met with, the people they danced with. I remember one of the residents, she danced with Fred Astaire, and she was in the movies, and you wouldn't have known that unless you asked, because she was also very humble and just a real sweetheart. So what are the stories and how can you help? Not what they can do for you, but what can you do for them? You start thinking about those things differently, my goodness, you may just find that your parent is in the home you always dreamed of. This is Gene from the Assisted Living Network saying do good and do well. If you like what you've seen and heard, please subscribe.